All right, here's a short demo about how I created this trailer. We're really using a reference from a trailer for this new film festival called We Are One. And the exercise is how are we going to move this text out one word at a time and using a mask on top of a comp. So I'm going to start all over again. Opening up a file called 01 trailer, and all I have are 3 text layers, no keyframes at all. Just moving my timeline somewhere after frame 0, and I'm going to keyframe the position of all 3 of these layers by clicking on the position stopwatch. And let's just move about 10 frames back, and I'll move all these layers, all these text layers to the right. Okay, how far do I need to move them? Well, you could kind of use I'm using spacebar to move my whole canvas over, and I could use the edge of my screen as a guide. This is a hack solution. It's not like I'm using any kind of, no one uses the edge of the screen as a tool, but you can. All right, that's one way to do it. Another way to do it would be activate this guide. There's a drop-down menu here, and I'm going to choose Title Action Safe. Now I've got some crosshairs with which to line up my words. So I'll just move them over to the right. I'm nudging it with Shift and right arrow. That looks pretty good. Okay, if we look at the reference, these 3 words don't move at the same time. They're kind of staggered. The word we comes out first, then are, then one. Okay. And it's kind of up to you how you want to adjust the timing. Do you want to see the whole word come out before the next one comes out? It's up to you. And if you look closely at the reference, there is a slight subtle smoothing out of the animation. Okay, I'll show you what I mean here. It might be hard to see just watching this on your own. It might be hard to see watching it on this screen, I should say. Okay, I think it was pretty obvious there. Just focus on the word one. The speed at which it gets revealed is not the same as when it slows down at the end. It definitely slows down a bit, okay? So how do we get it to slow down? An easy way to do it is simply to select the second keyframe, right click. There's a submenu that comes up called Keyframe Assistant, and I'm going to choose Easy Ease In. The keyframe has changed from a diamond to kind of an arrow looking shape, and that's how you know that it's going to ease into the end of the animation. Here, I'll solo this one. Slow down a bit there, okay? And I'm going to select these other 2 last keyframes, right click, and Easy Ease In. Okay, in order to mask these words out, I'm going to have to select all 3 of them and then Shift Command C to comp them. I'll call this words comp. Please remember that when you pre-compose layers, you will see the comp appear in your project window, and then you can access it from here by double clicking, or you could double click in your timeline. Okay, once you double click in your timeline, I could go in and manipulate the position keyframes again, but I want to stay in the main comp. And I'm moving my timeline until all the words have hit their final position. I'll hit the letter Q to activate my rectangular mask tool, and I'm just going to mask off these words. But I'm making sure the right side of the mask stops. And now when I rewind and play, let me use the letter N and shrink my work area. Okay, I feel like I want to adjust the timing a little bit. The words are kind of like I want them to overlap a little bit. And maybe take a little bit longer to come out. Okay, that's better. You can see that a little bit of this green part sticking out. I just got to adjust my mask a bit. Okay, that's better. All right, let's check out the reference again. The reference has some videos here, and that's pretty easy to bring in. I'm bringing in some footage called B footage, and I just drag it right into my viewer. I'll hit the letter S to adjust the scale. That looks about right. And now I'm just going to use my arrow keys with shift and just nudge it to the right position. And of course I could keyframe this video moving up and down and apply the same masking technique to different text as I'm moving this video up and down. Okay, it looks like I probably don't even need to mask anything off. Okay, how did the artist get the letter E's to scroll? Well, there's several ways to go about this. I'm just going to do this in the quickest way I know possible, which is to just hide these letter E's after this animation is complete. Okay, so the animation comes out. I'm going to create another mask, another rectangular mask, and I'm hiding these letter E's. I'm drawing this mask around these letter E's. There are now two masks on top of the same layer. There's the initial mask, which allowed the words "We are one" to kind of pop out from behind a wall. Now I'll switch this mask to subtract, and it's going to hide those letter E's. I'm going to keyframe the mask path attribute and go one frame back with command left arrow. And I'm going to move this mask totally off screen. Look at how I'm moving this mask totally off screen. So it's going to come in at one point and just, whoops, there's some sound from the B. Okay, so check it out. After the words finish moving, boom, it looks like the letter E's all disappear. Why am I allowing that to happen? Because I'm going to set up my own letter E's and have them scroll. Okay, so let me just activate my type tool, and I'm just going to click somewhere and create a letter E. Let's adjust the size of this letter E a little bit. Hopefully that's about the same size. Okay, I think that's pretty close. Okay, just making sure it's in the exact same spot that it's supposed to be. There's that letter E. Now I can duplicate it, Command D to duplicate it, moving it down. Duplicating another one, Command D. Okay, with these three letter E's selected, I'm moving to the frame where the other letter E's disappeared, and look at how I'm hovering over the beginning of this layer. So I'm trimming the layer so it doesn't start until these other letter E's disappear. And if I hit play, it looks like they kind of move a little bit downward. Okay, so that means that second letter E's need to move up a little bit. And it looks like it needs to move to the left a little bit as well. Okay, that's close enough for now. I think it's a good idea to never get too hung up on small details until you get through your first draft. Okay, think about doing your work in different passes, like first draft, second draft, third draft. On your first draft, you should never be too concerned about little details. Just get through the whole thing. I'm going to hide this B footage for now. Okay, looks good. All right, there's a lot of letter E's in there. Let's get some more. Okay, I'm just going to select all 5 of these letter E's. I'm going to hit Command D to duplicate them. Command bracket, and I can change the order of these layers. I'm going to move all of these a little bit further above. Okay, here's another composition. Shift Command C. Call this ease comp. And of course, I'm going to mask this off. I'm going to mask it off right at the top of that. I'm going to draw that mask so it's aligned with that top of that W. Okay, there we go. And now let's move those letter E's. So I'll hit P for position. I'm just going to go 20 frames down for now. It can be adjusted later. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to keyframe the letter E's inside. Okay, just moving. Okay, I'm just moving them down. And let's see how it looks now. Words come out, and then the letter E starts scrolling. Okay, I didn't stop it at the right point, so let's just get to the end position there. Okay, now I'm just going to make sure that those letter E's line up. So I just want to make sure that it matches. Just move forward, and let's just copy and paste a bunch of these keyframes. Okay, some people might be saying, hey, why can't you just drag select these keyframes and copy and paste them? You can't do that because these keyframes belong to different layers, and if I try to copy and paste, what I'll end up doing is pasting more letter E's on there. So that's why I'm just, when you're copying keyframes for multiple layers at the same time, you've got to do them individually. And And when I jump back to my main comp, let's take a look here. Okay, I'm going to expand my playback range. Okay, looks good.